Well, it's an important part of Mother Nature, and that's pollination. Here with more on the National Pollination Week is Jeanene Ebeling. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me always.
I know. Now, I know that this is actually something that we kind of just take for granted, it's going to happen, but pollination is something that, we should be aware of.
Yes, and they did start this National Pollination Week. It's June 16th through the 22nd, so people would be a little bit more aware of our pollinators. There's over 200,000 species of insects that actually help in pollination.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that, because you just hear about the bees.
Right, and honeybees are one of our most important, but also wasps. But bees can make anywhere from 50 to 1,000 trips to a flower.
Wow.
When they're going out and foraging. So they're very important. But also people need to be aware, some people have heard of the colony collapse disorder, and it seems like our domesticated bees are a little bit more affected by that than our wild bees. And people just need to be aware of using insecticides and things like that around their gardens or their landscape. I know that they may be concerned about some insects that are eating their plants, but at the same time, those insecticides can also affect your beneficial insects. Also, something people may not know is that most insects are red blind, meaning your red flowers aren't really what attract them. What really likes the red flowers is your hummingbirds. Hummingbirds really like your red flowers. Right. And because they go from flower to flower getting nectar, they also pollinate. So we kind of need a little variety of colors and stuff to attract the pollinators.
Wow. And so, one thing about it, though, it's kind of a give and take because, I was thinking when you said wasp, I was like, oh, you kind of cringe because, they sting. But at the same time, you're saying they're beneficial.
Right, because there's a lot of the pests that eat our plants that wasps actually feed on. And so they'll be going from plant to plant looking for their insects that they feed on, and they'll help pollinate. Yeah. And wasps, too, are similar in bees in that if you don't bother them, they're really not going to bother you. Yeah. So you just kind of have to be aware that they're in the environment and try to share.
Yeah. Yeah, when I see it though, and one's gotten in the house, I'm not interested.
You're not interested in sharing?
Okay, so for people, what are some things that we can do maybe to help with the pollination, or what exactly is Pollination Week?
Okay, well, again, it's just to bring people more aware of our different insects that do help. There's many fruit trees, our vegetables, flowering plants that actually need these pollinators if they want a good crop of fruit or vegetables, or if they want beautiful flowers. So it is a give and take, like you said. They can also plant flowers that attract them. There's many herbs that can attract them, and then they can also use the herbs in their kitchen. If they'll give us a call, if you have our number there.
It's on the screen.
Yes, okay, if you'll give us a call, I can talk to them about their specific situation, what type of landscaping needs they might need, and maybe we can figure out some plants to help. Also, if they put out some fresh water, insects need fresh water as well, like if they put out a bird bath or a little fountain or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, last question. Okay, so you hear about bees and people, like spraying the bee, hive down and things like that. If you have a beehive, what would be the more natural way to get rid of it?
The hive?
Yeah, the hive.
Well, probably call a beekeeper, and if they will call me, I do have some local beekeepers, and they will come out and actually rescue those bees and relocate them.
All right, well, good to know. Thanks so much.
You're
National
welcome.
Pollination Week.